everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks. Subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank you folks for liking, watching, and sharing my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has a link to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I'll talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I'm coming to talk to you folks today about Robert Saleh. Oh yes, Robert Saleh sat down, okay, with the media and spoke with them, about various things, okay, that pertain to the New York Jets, all right? Sat down and spoke about acquisitions that the Jets have made. He talked about, this upcoming season, what he wants to do. He also talked about, some things they got moving and shaking and how they're moving differently, okay, this current offseason versus past off seasons. All right, we're going to be discussing that as well. Okay, so comment down below, let me know what y'all think. All right, now listen, Robert Saleh started off the conversation with the media saying how excited he was, okay, about this new season. He's so excited to attack the upcoming season, and he was hoping that this season they're going to accomplish and get done what they were hoping to accomplish and get done last season. All right, we all know things really fell off the rails, man. They really did, right? Couple plays into the season, Aaron Rodgers goes down live Monday night after coming out toting the flag, and things were just, it was ruckus. We were all so excited, and then boom, couple plays, he's done for the season, and that's it. Our season was over, effectively, right? The offensive line continued to struggle throughout the entire year. They stunk, a lot of injuries, just a complete mess up front. And that clearly showed upon our quarterback play, which was already rough and bad, but then no protection just made it even worse, right? We struggled with Zach Wilson, who had some highs and some lows, right? He had some highs. Kansas City, he played well, but there were other games where he was horrific. There was a big win against Philadelphia, but then Trevor Siemian is trash and Tim Boyle was horrible. We ended up getting rid of him. It was rough, okay? It was rough, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. And which made it even worse was that the Jets defense actually was really good again this year, and they just couldn't receive any type of help. It was pretty much, the Jets defense doing all the work and the offense just stinking it up, which made it brutal to watch. And don't even get me started on Nathaniel Hackett. But here we are, right? And one of the biggest pieces that we were hoping to see addressed, coming into this offseason was the offensive line. The Jets have got to fix the offensive line. The Jets have got to get something done up there. And Joe Douglas made some acquisitions, one of them being Morgan Moses. He went and made a trade, got him back into this building, never should have let him leave, a couple years ago, but it's spilled milk. He brought him back into this building via a trade, and they talked to Robert Saleh about that, and he had some things he had to say, and I want to read this directly, read this quote directly for y'all about what he said about Morgan Moses. Robert Saleh said, "You look at a guy like Morgan Moses, who played on a torn pec last season, just an old school soul in the sense that he just shows up to work, works his tail off, and he's a guy who's going to pull people with him," okay? Now that's big, right? Morgan Moses, we know, is going to be on that right side. There's been a lot of issues trying to fill that right side. Max Mitchell was put over there at one point, but we know he injury history, and then he struggled at times playing. It's just been a revolving door over there. And Joe Douglas, years ago, should have just given Morgan Moses $2 more million, and he would have been here and been able to kind of seal up that side. But he made sure, after making that mistake, and that was one of the regrets that we all know that he's had since he's been the general manager here, he went back and acquired, and boom, here we are, right? Now we got our right tackle into place, and he made some other moves as well to continue to build, this offensive line, John Simpson being one of them, Tyron Smith being the other to really shore up that left tackle spot, and Saleh spoke on that as well. Here's what he had to say about Tyron Smith. Tyron has played at a very high level for a very long time. Saleh also spoke on John Simpson as well. He said, and John Simpson at guard, He's like the definition of strain. The way he works and kind of his story, he's kept battling to prove he belongs in this league, excited about the mental makeup of this team. So, when you look at the situation, I'm not the biggest fan of the John Simpson signing. Everybody knows that. But we'll see, what he's able to do. Again, we've got him surrounded by some solid offensive linemen that can help. If they gel well, he might be a guy that can step up and just hold the fort and be solid there at left guard. I know there's a lot of people that think he's basically Laken Tomlinson 2.0. We'll see, okay? Hopefully, he steps into his own this season and really is able to hold the fort there and is solid for us. But you look at Tyron Smith, who's a guy that another guy I want the Jets to stay away from, mainly because of the injury history and the thought about the money that he wanted in the offseason. But Joe Douglas was able to get him into the building with an incentive-laden deal, really that only, kind of accrues to money if he actually plays, right? So it's not like you're going to give this guy big cash if he ends up getting injured. No, he's got to be out there. He's got to play. And we know that Tyron Smith, when he's healthy, we've seen him in the past. He's solid, man. He can be a very, very solid left tackle for you, and he can play. Again, he's been an all-pro and all that stuff before. So he talked about that, building that wall for Aaron Rodgers, again, who we have coming back healthy this upcoming season. Expectations have raised. You got that. You got A-Rod in the back. Bro, you got a chance to win a Super Bowl, point blank, period, because of the caliber of quarterback that he is. So, Saleh definitely acknowledging that Joe Douglas has built that wall. He also talked about the quiet off season that we've had. For those of you that may not remember, and Robert Saleh even talked about that, he talked about how, around the Jets last offseason, it was a little loud last year. That's what he said. That's what he told to the media. It was a little loud last year, right? And, this has been a quiet offseason this year. So when you look at this, look at the last year, of course, we acquired Aaron Rodgers, which that was a lot of drama, right? Going back and forth with Green Bay, and that got strung out, and there was a lot of talk in the media that it wouldn't get done. And then Aaron Rodgers came out on a Pat McAfee show and talked about how he didn't want to play for anybody but the Jets. And it was just, that went on for quite some time, right? Which really stirred things up. Then we finally acquire Aaron Rodgers. Of course, that blew up as well, because now Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. All the things he had to say, the introductory press conference and all of that stuff, and him talking about wanting to win a Super Bowl here with the Jets and all of that. But then after all of that was going on, right, then Hard Knocks was forced on us, okay? Now keep in mind, Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas, privately and publicly, told the NFL they didn't want to have nothing to do with Hard Knocks, and still and yet it was forced upon them. All right, I think it was Saleh came out during a Jets press conference and talked about how he basically said, we don't want this, okay? We don't want Hard Knocks. And the NFL still said, nope, you're doing it, okay? There was even players on the New York Jets that didn't want it. Justin Hardy at the time, came out and said, nah, it's a distraction. We don't want that. There were other players as well that said, hey, we don't want to have nothing to do with this. This is going to be a distraction. And it did prove, all that stuff. And even there was haters that was coming out at the Jets as well, taking shots. Sean Payton being one of them, right? Took shots at Nathaniel Hackett during the offseason, and also talked about how the Jets just think they won the offseason. They're all over the place. Like, it was crazy last offseason, right? And Sauce Gardner came out, recently and talked about how there was a lot of distractions, a lot of things going on. And so when you look at an offseason like we've had, where we've made our acquisitions, but it's been a lot quieter, it's going to be much easier for us to lock in. Again, expectations are raised. And Robert Saleh knows this. They know, hey, look, they've got to win. Woody Johnson himself has come out and talked about how, hey, we got to be better, or, things could happen. We all know that Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas, their jobs are on the line. If the Jets don't make the playoffs this upcoming year, heads could roll, man. Guys could absolutely be getting fired for sure. So Robert Saleh, man, speaking to the media, seems like a guy that is ready to go, and is locked in, and is trying his best to push forward and get that ring, to get that trophy this upcoming season. He wants to make sure that the New York Jets are in that running, are going to finish on top. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about what Robert Saleh had to say about Morgan Moses, Tyron Smith, and John Simpson? What are your thoughts about him saying that he's ready to attack this upcoming season? Also, What are your thoughts about him talking about how much more quiet this offseason has been for the New York Jets? Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. Let's go back and forth. You folks have a good one. Peace.